lots of new faces, and yes, all the other ones that I do already know. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on myself, and then I'm going to talk about the products. And thank you so much for coming early, because as most of you know, my book launched 2 weeks ago, and I have to drive to Lymington to do another book signing tonight. I've just been from one, so for those of you who normally see me in high heels, I am so busy I'm actually in flat shoes. That's how busy I am. So there we go. So that sort of gives a little bit of an overview. So I'll back up to how I got into nutrition in the first place. So I was Canadian champion skater for 4 years. I ate absolute rubbish, and my career finished when I was 18. So I then went on this journey, and I'm so passionate about teaching other people about health and nutrition so they don't crash and burn like I did at such a young age. So I went traveling after I finished university, met my husband David in Australia 24 years ago. He was from Poole, so we came back here and we got married, and then we went to Japan and lived out there for 10 years, which was absolutely amazing. And this is where I really found the basis of nutrition. You know, they have the lowest rates of cancer out there, and they just have this wonderful philosophy about eating well and longevity. And so I used all the principles that I learned from my time in Japan, and when we came back here for our kids to go to school, I started a company. Can I close that? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. No, I started a company called Nutrichef, which was a healthy meal delivery company that was nationwide, and I ran that for 11 years, and I sold it this year in March. So I've kind of been a free person. So in my spare time, I wrote my first cookbook, which is this one here, Rainbow Recipes. So if you wanted to buy one, Brian does have some, and I have some as well. But as I said, I am shooting off after this to do a book signing in Lymington. But you can always order them from the website, or you guys chat to these guys, and they'll point you in the right direction, which I can help. So how did I get here? Well, I worked with Sean and Brian since 2006.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago. Yeah.
It's about 10 years, isn't it? Helping them with their nutrition when I was a nutritionist at AFC Bournemouth, and we've stayed in touch ever since. And let me tell you, if we can keep these guys healthy, then you know, life is easy, because they weren't easy to work with way back then. But there we go. We stayed friends, and that's it. So they introduced me to these products, which I think are fantastic. As you can imagine, I can't really put my name to a lot of products, because I get them popped on my desk probably on a daily basis. I get asked to look and test, and I've developed products myself for other MLM companies that have launched globally, and I'm the face of those products. But when you showed me these, I got so excited about the ingredients. And this was like before it launched, and I was like, these ingredients are really great, guys. I really like it. And that is where I look first, is what's in this product. Forget the packaging, forget the marketing. If the product isn't good and the product isn't going to work, I am just not interested. So I fell in love with the flagship product, which is the Salustra. I've used L-arginine for years with athletes. And that's the main ingredient in the Salustra product. So L-arginine basically helps the body promote the production of nitric acid. I don't want to get too technical on you tonight, okay? I'm going to try to keep it really general so you can use this. But that's basically what it does. So it makes the arteries more flexible, okay? The more flexible the arteries, the more, when the heart pumps the blood out of the arteries, you're getting the oxygen and the nutrients around the body, and you feel great. How wonderful is that? Doesn't everyone want to feel fantastic every day? But it does much more than that, because of all the other products that are combined in it to give it this, what I call a synergistic effect. And that's when you have the main product and other ingredients around it with added benefits. And that is what I loved when I got excited, didn't I? Looking at the, very excited looking at the ingredients, thinking, wow, this guy was really smart putting this together. And so I just think it's a product everyone should be having, especially the older that we get. You know, I'm 48 and want to keep my energy going as much as possible, but unfortunately, the older we get, the body produces less, and it's more difficult to keep the arteries as flexible as possible. So if you have clients, and I see thousands of clients every year who have issues with circulation, especially this time of year, down to, you know, stroke. And can I just say, I'm really into prevention, obviously, but it goes further than that, and that's protect and correct, which is what my motto is a lot at the moment. And these products help protect, but if you have an issue, they can also correct. So it's a good sort of double whammy, and that's really where I want to come. You know, that's sort of the basis of my book. And then these just fill in all the gaps where proper nutrition so it doesn't have. So again, taking a look at some of the flagship ingredients. Sorry, I have to put my glasses on. What I want to try to do is give you some practical tips on how you can use this as well for the festive season coming up. Because I tell you what, it is really, really, really busy out there. I'm not only busy, the traffic's crazy, everyone's stressed. You know, the last thing you want to do is come Christmas Day and you just fall into a heap on the sofa and not be able to, you know, enjoy the time with your family. So, I'm going to give you my top 10 tips on how to incorporate the products so you have a really amazing festive season, which I think is great. So, I'll start with that, and then the products sort of go in between there as well. Obviously, my number one is eat breakfast. Now this might sound really simple, but can I just see a show of hands how many people here skip meals? Yay. Now, Sean, your hand should not be going up. Okay, so skipping meals obviously isn't good. And I know you know that. You know, I don't want to...
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just worried it was me. So you want to keep the blood sugar levels as even as possible. So when you skip meals, that isn't happening, and you're not giving yourself the best sort of basis of you know what you should be going on. And I know there's some really great products coming out in the range that are gonna help with that as well. But if you can just try to eat at regular intervals, have the supplements around that or in between for the best efficacy of those as well, because if you have sometimes the supplements with the food, especially the digestive elements, which we'll go through in a second, you will actually absorb the nutrients in your food more efficiently through using the products as well. And that is what is absolutely fantastic. So I like taking the Salustra in the morning. Do you all take it in the morning? Yeah, okay. Pardon?
Before food.
Before food, sure. If you want to get, yeah. But I just love it because it just sets you up for the full day, which would be fantastic. Now, you can actually mix it with some amazing smoothies. If for some people who don't want to just, you know, have it on its own. And yeah, I've been hiding it in smoothies recently, and it's just fantastic. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it, because the last thing you want, and this is a little bit on the sales side of things, is for your clients to get bored of taking the same thing over and over again. So, you know, if you can mix it up and put it in a NutriBullet with some other things, then it's just this powerhouse drink that you can take. So bear that in mind as well. Amazing for athletes to do that, because you can make a real amazing power shake, which I'll tell you. If you blend it in a blender with oats and other fruit, then it's almost like a meal replacement. It's really great. Okay, so just some really good tips there. Number two is to keep the food variety up. What I also love is the variety of vitamins and minerals that you can get from there. Now, the body needs 67 minerals and about 8 vitamins a day just to move. So if you're not going to get them from your food, because most people don't eat the variety of food that they should be eating, you do definitely need to look at a variety of supplementation, you know, to help that. I mean, the body is just a piece of biochemistry at the end of the day, so you need to have all the right elements for it to work properly. And again, getting back to the protect and the correct, we end up correcting the mistakes because we didn't eat properly and supplement properly in the first place. So you know, do it the right way around, and that makes a massive difference. And obviously, eating a rainbow diet will help alongside that as well. Okay, how many people here have started going to Christmas parties? Okay.
Sean, you started Easter, didn't you?
And how are you finding that buffet?
A little bit too tempting.
Yeah, it is, and it's really difficult to navigate. So I've got a couple of tips for that. Number one, stay well hydrated before you go, okay? If you wanted to have something like a smoothie before you went, you could do that. But this is also when you can use some of the other products to help. To keep you full. It's this one, isn't it? Is this the weight loss one?
Yeah.
Yes. This is perfect for keeping you full. If you start taking this, you will be able to navigate that Christmas buffet so much easier because you're not actually going to have the cravings for what is on there. And this is a really massive thing. Willpower. You want something that's going to give you a little bit of willpower and to help you along the way. And that's what I find from anyone who wants to lose weight, who just wants to, you know, incorporate the products daily in their life. Now with the green tea that's in here, I'm a massive green tea fan, obviously, living in Japan for years. The health benefits of that, speeding up the metabolism, are fantastic. But it is also a very high antioxidant. So it's, you know, again, the ingredients, which is why I go back to the ingredients. The ingredients that are in these products have more than one protective element around them, which is what I really do like. But I mean, it is just superb to help with that. Now the konyaku, which is in here, or I think you call it cognac, or what do you call it here? Well, in Japan they call it konyaku, which is actually like a type of congealed jelly almost that actually the Japanese people used to eat as a diet food. It tastes like rubber. It's really tasty. No, and not at all. But it was a diet food that they used to eat. So basically what it is in pill form here. So again, another sort of type of food. I think they call it have you ever seen the low-calorie noodles?
Yes.
Yeah, well I think it's the same kind of element that's in there, which is the konyaku. But absolutely fantastic. And again, a fiber in its own right. Does everyone here know what fiber does? Yeah, it removes cholesterol from the blood, which is amazing. Again, don't you want to be doing that at Christmas? How much rich food are we eating all the time? So again, you just want to have all these products available and use them as and when to help. Hi, welcome. Come on in. You can find a seat.
That's all right.
Have a seat.
You're okay.
You're okay. Have a seat. Have a seat.
That's all right, we're okay. You carry on where you are. Look, we're fine.
Sorry.
Hi.
Is it important to take, let's say, a half an hour before? If you happen to be at a buffet and you forgot, would it still work if you take it just before this massive meal?
Yeah.
How would you advise us to take it?
I would, well, if you forget, and if you have it with you, then I would take it straight away. Because I think then the almost mental aspect of it comes in, and there's my willpower of just taking it, and for a while for it to kick in, you can have some water or something and just sort of get you through, and then that will.
But ideally, half an hour before.
Ideally, if you can. I mean, ideally, you want to be taking it on a daily basis, so it's building up in the system and building up your willpower.
All right.
Ideally, but if you can't use it like that, the tips I'm giving tonight are if you're in a bind and you need it, it is something to have on hand. Because I take things as and when. I don't need to lose weight, but I need some willpower sometimes.
Is it like a can of Red Bull or something like that?
No, wrong product we're talking about now.
Right, okay.
Red Bull.
I've just walked in, so I don't know.
Not to worry, not to worry. No, that's fine. You okay standing? Or?
Yeah, I'm fine, yeah.
Yeah, because there's seats everywhere. No, we're talking about the weight loss product.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So if you had them on hand, then that would be fine. Just carry them around with you and use them as and when, and that will definitely help. Because it will keep you fuller for longer. It's almost like taking extra protein sometimes, which I'm not a massive fan of overdoing protein, but something like this will still give you that satisfaction of having something. So just use it in conjunction as and when you need it, which is great. Obviously, the stresses of Christmas Day. It's absolutely crazy. I remember my mum, when I was young, always said to my dad, I think your dad thinks Christmas just happens. And so it's, and now that I'm older, I feel like I should say that to my kids as well. So I always like to have something that's just going to keep me a little bit calm, but also give me the energy. And yes, this is where we can go to the Red Bull of the product, which I would never recommend anyone have Red Bull.
I
anyway.
never drank Red Bull.
No, but the sort of idea of it really does help. So definitely have that in the morning. And even if you wanted to double up on a dose, then again you can do that. But getting back to the breakfast, and that would be perfect. So anyone here ever overeat at Christmas Day? And you feel bloated and you feel lethargic afterwards, and not necessarily the nicest feeling. No. Okay. Well, this is when we can get into the proper digestion, which obviously you want to chew properly. First of all, digestion starts in the mouth. Okay. But if you're going to be eating far more than you normally eat, then you do sometimes need something that's going to help you a little bit more as well. And this will definitely help. So not only will it help you digest the food, okay, but it has enzymes in it that will help you break down the food. So yes, you'll be ready for your afternoon walk, which would be great, which is what we want you doing, getting out in the afternoon and helping with that. So this is fantastic. But what's amazing about taking a look at digestive elements in products is that you want to fast forward to New Year's and a cleanse. And I think this is, everyone loves a real fresh start in 2016 and making sure that the digestion is working absolutely properly. Your digestive system is about 80% of your immune system. So if that isn't working properly, you're going to come down with colds and flus much easier as well. So this should be, a product that everyone is having on a daily basis for a while. The older we get, the less sort of hydrochloric acid we have used to break down the food anyway, so people can get a lot more bloating. So it is something that is particularly good. Now, if you have IBS, you can also use it for that. The papaya that's in here is absolutely fantastic for anyone who finds particularly rich food difficult to digest. Not everyone carries around a papaya in their handbag if you go out for dinner. And I never get asked out for dinner from friends anymore. They think I'm too difficult. So, so now, if anyone does ask me, they say, Barbara, is there anything that you don't eat? Oh no, I eat everything. And then you take things that help you digest it afterwards. Otherwise, you just don't get invited out, trust me. So, you don't want to be a difficult person. These kinds of things are amazing and should be in everybody's Christmas stocking. Okay? So that will definitely help.
Can I ask you, I've got Barrett's esophagus.
Ah, yes.
And that's quite a tricky one.
It is. What do you
so
do
you
for
have to
that
take
now?
Maprazole
Yeah.
to sort of comfort everything, really. Is that sort
That
of
would
thing?
definitely help. Absolutely, it will help, but it's not a Band-Aid for that.
Right.
So you will be able to build up to something like this, and it will definitely alleviate some of the issues that you're having. But then I would take a look at your diet around it for more alkalizing foods. Yeah, for sure. But then you can also double up and actually have some sprouted foods that will give you more enzymes around it, and I think that would help. Go from there, which is good. Alcohol. Alcohol is another one that obviously I wish we had something that helped with alcohol, but we don't yet. but it is immensely important to have the platform of your healthy nutrition and supplements there. So when we do have the excesses of Christmas and New Year, then the body can quickly get back to normal. And I think that's one of the most important things as well. And using a lot of fresh herbs will also help alkalize the system as quickly as possible. And to help with hydration also. So there's a lot of herbs that, green herbs mainly, that are very mineral rich. Now I know the Salustra has a lot of magnesium in it, and magnesium will definitely help rehydrate the system. So you could use them, you know, a little bit like that, but you know, just don't overindulge is where you want to go with that. That's kind of my 10 points, really, just to sort of help with those, and obviously walking and exercise just sort of brings it all around. But while I'm here, before I have to sneak out, did anyone have any specific questions you wanted me to answer around the products that I can help with?
Could you just run through the licensure?
Yeah, I'm not 100% familiar with this because I haven't been using this one myself just yet, so I can only sort of, you know, flip around with those. I mean, glucosamine and everything is great, so those are absolutely fantastic. And this was one, when Colin was here last time, I was actually getting, you know, quite excited about. I have been busy, I haven't done my research fully around that, but maybe that's something we can go into for a big one in the new year. But you know, anything that's going to help with joint and bone health is bound to be a winner, for sure.
You did ask Barbara, you said that you don't put your name to anything, but you said you're happy to promote these products, as in...
Yeah, because I really like the ingredients very, very much. I mean, and that is where... So when I was first introduced them, the first thing I did was get on the phone and spoke to Colin. I wanted to know where they were produced, because I use all the same production houses myself. I know which ones to use, which ones not to use, and I know all the questions to ask. He was amazing, and he sent me, I wanted to see all the safety sheets on stuff. Because, you know, I produce for another global MLM company. I created, like what Colin did, for this other company. So I wanted to make sure his attention to detail was there, and it was great. Which, when I've asked other people who have created other products, things just didn't add up, you know. But with Colin, it was great. We got along really well, and
so you're comfortable with it?
Most definitely comfortable with every single ingredient and every element. I've seen the safety sheets on every single one, and that's what I really loved about it. So it gives me the confidence to stand up here in front of you and say that I like the products. Well, I don't only like them, I love them, and I give them to my family, and that's another big thing. And I don't do that very easily at all. So if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be here. End up.
I think some of the interesting, Barbara, as we go around the meetings, me and Ray do presentations all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's the testimonials what are coming out. Oh, we've never seen anything like it, have we, Ray? It's crazy. I mean, people who had asthma, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me myself, vibration white finger out from the mines and it's gone.
I know, I loved your story on that. I think that's great. The thing is, though, is once you start giving the body exactly what it needs, which is what this product does, in a form that your body can recognize, okay, because it's not chemical stuff here that your body doesn't recognize and eliminate. It's actually food-based things that your body needs, recognizes, and absorbs, and so therefore gives you a positive side effect, almost in a way, of alleviation of symptoms. And so that's exciting. That's what you want, and that's what you get. But that is so true. But you only have to look, like when I keep harping on about it. When I first saw the ingredients, I thought, great, someone's using that, someone's using this, someone's using that. And those were the things that I looked at in an affordable form. Now, the product that I created for another company sells, they're not competition with this at all, by the way. But mine sells for double the price because they're expensive ingredients. And I wanted to make sure that Colin was using that same grade of ingredient in here. And he is. I didn't want a cheap grade that had a 65% markup. I'm not into that. I understand the game. I get it. This doesn't do that. And that is again why I can stand up and say that.
To be honest with you, Bob, as we go around the meetings as well, a lot of people that have done other networks, the same as us. Now, I've never really been into nutrition, I've done other sort of networks, but what I'm seeing myself, everybody's raving over this, saying this is one of the best products on the market.
Yeah.
Well, is this right, what they're all saying? Because, I mean,
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
it's definitely the best product on the market.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm one of the leading nutritionists in the UK. The patrons of Cancer Active Charity, the patron of Pan-African Heart Foundation. I'm not going to put my name to something if I didn't think the ingredients were going to alleviate it. So when I introduced this to the cardiac surgeons in the Pan-African Heart Foundation, these guys are, cutting edge at what they do. And they're like, oh yeah, Barbs, I quite like that. And so they're not going to just, move it over because it gets results. And at the end of the day, that's what I look at. If the product didn't get results, well, I'd be off doing my book signing. But the product does get results. And I'm just about people waking up every morning feeling great. Because you know what? I'm getting tired seeing people who are sick all the time. I really am. Yeah. I see it every day, and I get such heart-wrenching stories. Today I got another one. And they come to see me when they have 3 to 6 months to live, yeah? I've got a bloody difficult job to turn them around. And then I do turn them around, but then that's when I come back to the protect and the correct. And if more people were to protect themselves with proper nutrition and proper nutrients, then, I'd have an easier life, or I'd have an easier job.
Barbara, just a quick question. Is it safe to use all of them, and how often would you advise to use it?
Yeah, of course. And this is the way Colin produced them, which is really great. And anyone who's sort of seen him, the products all interconnect to one each other. So there's no individual ingredients that will contraindicate one another. So that is the beauty. You can take them all if you want to, or you can pick and choose and use them as you wish. I think everyone should have the baseline of the Salustra. That's base, okay? That's your platform. And then you can build on top of that as and when you need them. So this one should be another base for people who have issues anyway, okay? But then the digestive ones or the Purifica, if you want to use that